Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is January 19th, 2018, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the economic events of this Friday, just one small event really coming out. GBP monthly retail sales coming out of the United Kingdom. That's at 11:30 South African time. It's not a major number, but we're seeing some pressure on the GBP, and we may see a correction on the upside on it. Okay, so that's something to just keep an eye out as we're breaking out higher. But let's see what's been happening. So we're jumping here into the Euro USD, and it's above 2265-ish level. Okay, we hit 23-ish level yesterday, and then we retraced below it. Okay, so just making itself a little bit of a resistance here at 2293-ish level, as you can see, but very resilient. Okay, which is a little bit disconcerting because the market is selling off in the Dow Jones. So, we may see a pivot move on the downside here if we falter on the upside. Okay, but we're in uncharted territory. Now remember, the leader becomes a lagger, and the lagger becomes a leader. And look at what happened with the GBP. GBP trading at 139, breaking out higher. Okay, look at that. All right, that's an amazing graph for the GBP. A beautiful upsurge for the GBP, breaking above 136 and continuously breaking out higher on a weekly chart. Look at that. All right, so we're broken up closer to this 140-ish level, and that's where I would presume the next real resistance would be on the upside. On the downside, okay, we're looking at 138-ish level support, okay, but we have this resilience. We may find ourselves trading in a new range, okay, between this 139 and 138-ish. So just be aware of it, okay, because it has been getting a lot stronger versus the dollar. USDZAR, look at that, finally breaking down on the downside, 12.15, okay. We mentioned this last week that it just looked really weak. The dollar looked really weak versus the rand, and sure enough, we finally got this pivot move down below this 1230-ish level, which is a multi-year support. Okay, well, last time we hit it was at the beginning of February 2017. Okay, and we bounced off of it, but here we're faltering below it. So the next real pivot move on the way down, I hate to say it, but it's 11, all right? So South African rand getting much stronger versus the dollar, as you can see. And that could be also attributed to the price of gold bouncing back to some meaningful levels. Looking at the Aussie USD, strong like a rocket, 0.80. Okay, so it broke out finally higher. Looking at a daily chart, we'll see that above this 79-ish resistance, next resistance at 80.54. Okay, so that's meaningful, extremely meaningful, because it's multi-years, as you can see here. Especially because we've been in much different orbit, okay, compared to these numbers that we are right here, okay? So I'd like to see some continuation here, but just realize that there is significant resistance on multi-years at just above this level of 80, so we may see a correction there. Looking at oil, we had a little bit of a correction yesterday, 63.14, selling off after weekly inventory numbers came in positive. So this is something that's going to be trading perhaps in a range, okay, especially since it's faltering above the $65 range. Okay, so that's something to keep an eye on to see how that's going to forestall and how that's going to trade and resolve itself. Looking at the USD CAD, nice bounce here, as you can see here, but we're trading mostly in a range, okay? And we're just between these two mid levels of the moving averages, between 30 and 14-day moving average. So unless we break above this 30-day moving average, I don't think that we're gonna continue going up between this back to the 25 level anytime soon. But we look like we're finding ourselves a base down here, which may see a pop up, okay, to the high 24 level range. Okay, so keep an eye on that as well. Dow Jones selling off a little bit, trading at 25,933 right here. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. So this is a pullback. All right, to say that it's going to sell off here, I don't want to be so courageous to say that, but at the same time, I don't want to say that we're going to be bouncing back. Okay, you may see some Some people take money off the table. As you can see, the RSI dipping below 70 and close to our center line right here, as we spoke about yesterday. So, we may see a correction, especially if we break below this 30-day moving average and trade. And, just people taking money off of the table, just booking their profits as we go along. Looking at the Nikkei, also faltering here, but nothing, no big sell-off. Okay, that's the most important thing, is that we don't see this massive sell-off and massive correction. The DAX as well, just sideways trading and actually on up. Okay, so it's kind of funny because we were expecting the DAX to actually sell off. So, altogether, the markets have been strong. Okay, we may see just a quiet session today as we go into the weekend, entering next week. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a good trading day and a good weekend. Thank you.